Good afternoon. My name is Bill Stubbles. I'm one of the solutions engineers for the GoAnywhere product. This is the second in a three-part series of videos on the AS2 or Applicability Statement 2 file transfer protocol. In this video, we're going to look at the server-side setup for AS2 within GoAnywhere. There are two pieces to the AS2 server setup, setting up the listener itself and then setting up a web user account. The listener is a subset of the HTTPS functionality. So under the Services menu, we're going to go to Service Manager to the HTTPS listener. We're going to ensure automatic start is set to yes. We're going to enable the AS2 service. At this point, this is where we would start adding recipients. You can set up a single recipient for all of your AS2 trading partners. You can set up individual recipients. It is entirely up to you. The AS2 ID, this is how your trading partner will know your AS2 system. It's a label. It can be anything you wish it to be. The upload folder, we're going to leave blank. We're going to specify that at the web user account level. I'll show you that in just a moment. When file exists, we're going to set to overwrite. This will determine in part the permissions we set for that web user account. Message decryption, this is the certificate that we're going to use to decrypt incoming messages. MDN receipts, this is the receipt we're sending back to the trading partner. Whether or not you keep the receipts is likely a decision that security or audit team is going to have to be involved with. Asynchronous MDN approval typically is set to automatic. This means the MDN receipt is going to go out as part of the same session when the file was uploaded. The MDN signature, this is the receipt, the certificate we're going to use to sign the MDN receipt. Typically, this is going to be the same certificate as we use for decryption. Message security, do we as the server require the trading partners encrypt the files? Do we require they sign the files? Do we require they authenticate the session? Last setting we're going to look at here under the HTTPS listener, under the SSL tab, is the client authentication. We're going to set that to optional. This instructs the HTTPS listener to check for a certificate when we are authenticating the session. If we have made any changes to the HTTPS listener as part of this configuration, you're going to have to restart the listener before these changes are effective. Last thing we're going to look at here on the server side is where we get the AS2 URL, the URL that we'll give to the trading partner. If you're hosting GoAnywhere, under the Users menu, you're going to come down here to Domains. You're going to select the domain your AS2 listener is going to be a part of. Typically, that might be your default domain. Web client site URL. This is the URL that your web clients use to connect up to the HTTPS listener. In the case of AS2, we are going to append onto that /AS2/receive, as you see here. This is the AS2 specific URL. Once we have the listener set up, then as we say in the demos, it's all about the end users. I'm going to show you an AS2 listener I have set up here. Considerations specific to AS2. Authentication tab. We're going to expand this authentication types dropdown. For the AS2 protocol, validation options at this writing. This is GoAnywhere 7.2.1. Options are password authentication, either password or certificate, or password and certificate. Certificate-only authentication. If we are using certificate authentication, there's also a drop-down here where we will select the client certificate, the trading partner certificate. If you have not already imported it into the default key vault, it will need to be there. On the Features tab, the user account needs access to the AS2 protocol only. For the Folders tab, we said on the AS2 listener we were not going to specify a default upload directory. We're giving this user access to their home directory. We're giving them at a minimum upload and checksum access. We're giving them overwrite access because on the listener level we said that if the user uploads a file, we already have a file with that name on the server, we will overwrite it. On the AS2 tab, this is where we tie the trading partner's AS2 system ID to this web user account. This is the trading partner's AS2 system ID here. Trading partner certificate, again, this is what we're using to validate their signature. We have the upload default directory set to the user's home directory. This is why we did not set it on the listener. The other settings here, decryption certificate, where file exists, requirements, MDN receipts, we're going to use all default settings. This is the conclusion for the web user setup. At this point, you are ready to go ahead and begin testing with your AS2 trading partner. If you need to see the session log under the reporting menu, under audit logs, the AS2 service log, this is where you will see login attempts, uploads for the AS2 protocol. This would be your first step for troubleshooting. In our next video, we will tie everything together. We'll build out the AS2 resource, we'll build out a workflow utilizing that resource, and then we'll show you the end-to-end AS2 transfer. Thank you very much for your time.